hairconcepts.com. Here I have my model Kelly with me, and this is great. This is what I love about living in one of my communities. Is Kelly, I've known her since she was quite small, and her mother is still one of my customers, which is really cool. But today we're going to do, in this webinar, I'm going to give you one of the options of cubism. And cubism is great because it's really wonderful on a shorter hairstyle. And again, I'm all about, in what I do, is let's make it really quick and let's make it really easy. So we're going to start off with our sectioning here. And the first thing I want to do is I'm going to work with a rectangle. Now, I've got to work with her part. So what I like to do is you'll see in everything that I'm doing right now, I love to do a lot of diagonal sectioning, and that's what this is. So first we're going to start off with a rectangle. And knowing that she parts it on this side, I'm going to take my rectangle from here and work it this way if I want it to be a lot more subtle. And if I want a little bit more dramatic, I'll part it this way. So you can just vary it as you like. Remember, this is an option to one of the courses. So here we go. Starting off first with a rectangle, I'm just going to come right around here. And I'm going to have you bring your head down. There we go. So the object is I'm going to place a rectangle in here. And I want this to give me most of the coverage over the top part of the head. So right past that little cowlick area, and again, this is very much a topical technique, and I love to do topical techniques, even though we're going to be coloring the whole thing. Taking a rectangle, and I'm coming across the head. I want to keep this on top of the head. It's not a big rectangle. There we go, coming all the way across, right here, separating that aside. And what we want to do is we want to leave at least an inch or two on that front hairline area. So let's take this. And Kelly, I'm going to have you bring your head down just slightly for me. Perfect. So we can really see the angles on that. And because I know that she parts it on this side, this is where one of my major sections is going to be, where it's going to have a nice blonde splash to it. Now, keeping your head down there for me, you're perfect. Coming around. And this rectangle gives me the coverage on top of the head. Notice once again that it is at a diagonal. There we go. See? And bringing this all the way across, I want to be sure that I have full coverage of the top. This is going to be the splash of the blonde that's going to come right over. And I'm going to bring your head up for 1 second. Let me take a look. There we go. How you doing? Cool. Okay. Once again, this rectangle sits at a diagonal section. And you also know that I like to work with bobby pins. It seems like, our clippies get lost, like socks do in the wash somewhere, I don't know. But bobby pins work really well for me because what they do is they help get my hair and put it aside. You'll see in everything that I do that I like to work through sections and pin them up, put them out of the side, and then I like to work from the bottom section, working my way up. Because what determines when a color comes off first is my lightener. And we're going to be using lightener throughout this top section and in my corners. And when that comes up, then your color, it's time for it to come off. So first of all, I like to get my permanent color on the underneath so it has enough time to process. So once again, I have this rectangle. And it covers mostly the part of the head sitting on the part right here. Now I'm going to continue on with my next sections. You'll also, from time to time, refer to the 3D head that we have, and you'll be able to see exactly where that sectioning is. Okay, my next section, I want to take 4 corners. And these 4 corners are going to sit off each part of the rectangle. So coming around, and this is very important, why I left that rectangle slightly back is so I have enough room to get this corner in. So I'm going to take this corner, and it's something I talk about, which is shapes sitting inside of other shapes. Okay, so just taking my right angles on this, there we go. And I'm just taking like the corner of this, even working right into her hairline. This is going to be a splash of blonde. Tying that up, being sure all my angles are really, really strong, because when you have those angles that are real strong, it's easy for your color placement. And I'm going to tie this up, put it aside. There we go. Once again, using a bobby pin. And this way I can clearly see the sections that I'm working with. Remember that we did a direct application here with the blonde on the top. And then we went through and toned that, because you never want to leave that blonde just, you never want to leave that blonde raw, what we call raw. So go ahead and move through that. See how that feels? I love the, just no matter how you work through it, how it has a beautiful variation within the blonde colors. It's blonde on blonde with a little depth in there. So again, thank you for coming to hairconcepts.com, and we'll have many, many courses coming up for you. I think this is gorgeous and very wearable.